Hey y'all, today we are covering adding integers. And just a quick reminder that an integer is a positive or a negative whole number. We're not talking about decimals or fractions, we're just talking about positive and negative whole numbers. And we've been modeling addition of integers in class, and so now we're going to go away from modeling to the rules. There are two types of addition problems. So your addition problems will fall under two types. One will be an SS rule, which stands for same signs. If the numbers have the same signs, so if you're talking about two positives or two negatives in an addition problem, it's going to be the same signs, which means you add the numbers together and you keep the same sign. For example, a same sign problem would be -2 plus -3. Those are both negatives, so you add them together. 2 plus 3 is 5, and you get -5. The other type of problem is a different signs problem. So if you have different signs, which means you have one positive and one negative, you subtract the numbers and you take the sign of the bigger. So the reason I have bigger in parentheses is because a negative number is never bigger than a positive number. We're talking about bigger in terms of the bigger absolute value. If we were modeling, you know how we model, you have reds and you have greens, whichever one is bigger, whichever one has more, overpowers the other one, and they have some left. So we're talking about whichever number overpowers. So an example of a different sign would be 2 plus -3. Different signs, so that means we subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1, and the bigger number is -3. That means it overpowers, so we would have -1 left over if we were going to model that. So this is just an introduction to adding integers. Alright, I messed up. So example 1, -3 plus -11. This is the same sign problem because they're both negatives. So that means we add them. 3 plus 11 is 14. And we keep the negative because they're both negative, so we bring down our negative. So -3 plus -11 is -14. So I want you to try this one. Pause the video if you need to, but you try -17 plus -39. And then restart the video when you're ready. These are same signs. That means we add 17 plus 39, 9 is 16, 4, 5, 56. And because they're both negative, we are going to make sure our answer is a negative with -56. And that is an example of adding integers with the same sign. All right. Example 3 has -2 plus 9. Now this is an example of a DS problem because you have a negative and a positive. So this is a different sign problem. One negative and one positive. You subtract the two numbers. 9 minus 2 is 7. And then because the 9 overpowers the 2, which means there are more positives than negatives, it's a bigger number, that means our answer is going to be a positive. So now you try number 4. You try 5 plus -21. Pause the video if you need to. 5 plus -21. You try it and then restart it when you're ready for me to show you. This is a DS problem, which means we're going to subtract 21 minus 5, 16, and the -21 overpowers the +5, so my answer is going to be a -16. I hope you got -16 as well. So you try these two, please. Sorry about that. You try these two on your own. Number 5, -23 plus 18. And number 6, -36 plus -72. Sorry, -36 plus -72. -23 plus 18. You try these, pause the video, and then when you're ready, restart it. This is a different sign problem, so I'm going to subtract 5, and then my negative overpowers, so -5 is my answer. This problem is a same sign problem, so I'm going to add 108, and they are both negative, so my answer is -108. Now I have a question down here. Is there a way to check And the answer is yes. There's a couple different ways. One way to check is to redo it again and see if you get the same answer. Another way to check is to take and do the opposite. So since this was an addition problem, you could subtract -5 minus 18 and see if you get -23. For example, -5 minus 18 to see if you get -23. I haven't taught you subtraction yet, so that one might be a little difficult. And over here, this is an addition problem, so again, you could subtract. I just haven't taught you how to subtract yet, but there is a way to check. You could just redo the problem again just to make sure that you get the same answer. So how about a real world problem? Real world, example 7. A football player gains 8 yards on the first play. So probably a running play. I don't know, it could be a pass play. Then he loses 11 yards on the next play. So maybe the quarterback got sacked, I don't know. What is his overall gain? So I have started looking at the important information. So he gains 8 yards, that's why I have a positive 8 because he gained 8 yards. And then he loses 11, so I have plus the -11 yards because he went back 11 yards. And what is his overall gain overall? So we need to add these two. Is this an SS or DS problem? I'm hoping you said DS because these are different signs, which means we need to subtract 11 minus 8 equals 3. And is it going to be positive or negative? I'm hoping you said negative because the 11 overpowers the 8, and so his overall gain was a -3 yards, which in football is not great because he's trying to get down the field 10 yards. So would you even call that a gain? Is that an overall gain? He gained -3 yards? That's a good question. So you try real world number 8. I'll read you the problem and then I want you to try on your own. The temperature outside is -15 degrees. Make sure you know that's a -15 degrees Fahrenheit. It increased 12 degrees during the day. What is the temperature now? So I want you to work out that problem, pause the video if you need to, and then restart it when you're ready to hear my explanation. All right, so temperature outside is -15 degrees, so we're going to start with -15, and it increased 12 degrees. Increase means go up or go down. Go up. So it increased 12 degrees. What is the temperature now? We need to add these two. -15 plus 12 is a different signs problem, so we subtract. 15 minus 12 is 3. And it was negative, overpowered the positive, so again we have a -3 degrees. -3 degrees. That's probably not in North Carolina. Yeah. Not North Carolina, -3 degrees outside. All right, that's it.